Welcome to Back to School with doTERRA Essential Oils. I'm Crystal Garvin, and I have a lot of material to cover. I love this topic. I am a homeschool mom of three boys, and we are gearing up for the school year like a lot of you. And so I just want to help you understand what my family does and also give you some options that could be really helpful as you plan for your school year. And even just for those of us who aren't actually in school, or maybe you don't homeschool, just getting back into routine, knowing that these are the months coming up when we really need to boost our immune systems. This information is relevant for a lot of different seasons of life and reasons, but really going into the fall season. So just a quick reminder, our wellness kind of stairway that we teach is all about the foundation being eating right, exercising, learning how to rest and manage our stress and reduce our toxic load. And that's what we're really about. And above that, the healthcare line, we also want to have informed self-care and proactive medical care as needed, but just to realize that lifestyle is really the biggest influencer of our overall health. So we're going to talk about some of these aspects of lifestyle and get into how essential oils can support all of those things. So our morning routine, that's an important thing to get underway as we are looking at what we're going to do to kind of get out of maybe some bad habits, maybe sleeping in late, maybe staying up too late at night, not just having that routine, and especially for our kids too. So depending on their ages, there's different supplements that we offer, and we'll talk about those first. So lifelong vitality is really about our lifelong health and vitality, and it takes in factors including what we might be missing in our diet, helping us to have more energy for physical activity, helping with weight management. The supplements also help with rest and stress management with adaptogens that help us to respond better to stress. They help to reduce our toxic load, and they provide a gentle detoxification. And, we may have some inherited genetic predispositions for disease or for wellness, and taking supplements like the Lifelong Vitality can really help us to support our bodies to be able to deal with all of those stressors that are coming at us, to deal with the gaps we might have in our nutrition. So the Microplex VMZ is our food nutrient, and that has food sourced vitamins, minerals, things that we often are missing in our American diet. The Z Omega is our fish oil complex, but also has 9 essential oils built in to help support inflammatory response and cognitive function. Alpha CRS, we sometimes jokingly say the CRS stands for can't remember stuff. So it is really helpful for mental clarity, brain fog, but also for our cellular vitality. And so it helps support our energy at the cellular level. So this really is a great foundation. I started giving my kids this probably when they were around 10 or 12, just kind of depending on when they could swallow pills easily, and also their size. When they were getting to be the size of a small adult, I knew that this could help them. I started them with the half dose, and they're still, as teenagers, pretty much taking the half dose. But it is helping them with essential nutrients and metabolic factors so that they can perform optimally in their sports and other activities that they're doing as well. So it's really good for them. I really just give them the 2 on the right, the Z Omega and the Microplex VMZ. The Alpha CRS is, for me, it's wonderful. It helps me with energy, mental clarity, not something my kids need as much, but there have been different seasons when they're under the weather or kind of just sluggish when I have given them Alpha CRS as well. So Mito2 Max is a special supplement that promotes efficient production in the mitochondria of our cells. And so it's really the energy factory of our cells. And it's not an energy supplement like you think of a stimulant where you go get a high and then you crash when you start to get that processed out of your body, kind of like coffee or energy drinks. It's not like that at all. So it's also an herbal food-based complex that enhances stamina. And it also helps our bodies to use oxygen more efficiently. It promotes circulation, even microcirculation to the extremities, to our head, to our brain. So it's really great for supporting energy, especially for long days or just when you're feeling sluggish, or if you have an afternoon slump, a certain time of day that you know that you tend to struggle with energy. I do recommend taking it in the morning and probably early to mid afternoon. Some people have no problem taking it in the evening, but it's designed to help you with energy and stamina. So typically you're not going to need that when you're winding down in the evening. And some people do find that taking it too late in the day makes it harder for them to fall asleep. So it supports adaptation also for diverse activities as well, which is something that our children and we ourselves as well have to support our bodies, because it can be really stressful on our bodies to go from doing something where we have to sit still and concentrate to then going out and running track or something. And so those adaptogens are really helpful for our bodies to know how to deal with those different kind of stressors and respond to different stimuli in a healthy way. And overall, it also improves mental energy, which is great for going back to school. So for younger kids or ones who aren't swallowing pills, we do have the A to Z chewables. This has a superfood blend, and it supports overall health and wellness. It has also a balanced blend of essential vitamins, including antioxidants and the cellular energy complex of B vitamins. It is specially formulated to be used daily with IQ Mega. I'll show you that next. And it's really a comprehensive dietary supplement foundation for the younger ones. And so the IQ Mega is the fish oil in the kids version, and it has a slight fishy smell and taste. It's very slight. I actually put this on my dog's food also, because it is so good for dogs to have fish oil for their joints, for their coats, for just longevity support as their bodies are aging, and even for puppies as they're developing. And so I've actually switched to giving this to my dogs. My kids are all swallowing the pills now, but my kids did take this for years as well. And it's so good for cardiovascular health, so good for healthy joints. And that's some of the same things that the fish oil in the Z Omega does for us in the capsule form, but this is specially formulated for kids. It's good for the immune system function. It helps support healthy function of the brain. So again, while kids' brains are developing, it is so good to make sure they're getting the EPA and DHA. So we have 1,000 milligrams of pure concentrated, molecularly filtered, completely deodorized marine lipids. So like I said, very slight fishy smell or taste. It's not bad at all. It does have wild orange essential oil, which also helps to mask any of that that's left. 600 milligrams of EPA, 400 milligrams of DHA. All of this is just feeding the brain. Okay, it's nourishing the brain. So those are some great components for our children to help support them in every way possible as they're going back to school. And then we also have PB Assist. So we have it for the kids. It's sort of a powder version. It's not actually powder. It kind of reminds me of a pixie stick, but if you look at it closely, it's actually little micro beads. And then there's the encapsulated PB Assist Plus. And you can see those capsules here, what they look like. It's double encapsulated so that it actually gets down to the GI tract. So there's prebiotics in the outer capsule, probiotics in the inner capsule. A lot of probiotics on the market just get eaten up by our stomach acid. They don't survive the stomach, or very few of them do. And so it's really important. This patented double encapsulated feature makes it so that it does actually get to where it needs to populate those good bacteria in the GI tract. The PB Assist Junior, even though it looks like a powder, like I said, you look at it really closely, it tastes really good. Kids love it. It's got like a strawberry melon flavor, but it's teeny, teeny, tiny little beads. And so those are actually encapsulated in a way as well that they can get down to the GI tract. So this promotes positive balance of beneficial bacteria, and that just really helps maintain intestinal microflora, which is so important for our immune system. 70 to 80% of our immune system is housed in our gut. So we want to support healthy functioning of the digestive system. People will ask, well, should I take this all the time? If you have ongoing GI issues, if you've had digestive issues for a long time, then you might need to take it long term. Your microflora the bacteria in your gut should start to repopulate itself once you've supported good microflora and helped kill any bad microflora, bad bacteria in your system. But some people do need to take it for the rest of their lives. They've had some serious GI issues, some digestive issues. So that kind of is between you and how you feel, and maybe your practitioner, if you have a doctor that you're working with GI health on. But I will say, if you ever have to take an antibiotic, you definitely want to take this for at least 30 days and take a good amount of it. I would recommend at least 2 a day. because you have just killed off good and bad bacteria when you've taken an antibiotic. So most doctors will even tell you that, oh, you need to take a good probiotic for at least a couple of weeks after taking an antibiotic. So it's a great thing to have on hand, even if you don't have digestive issues that mean that you need to take it all the time. Also, after sickness of any kind, that's a good time to, or if you see the onset of sickness, really, that's a good time to start probiotics as well, to help support the immune system, which again is housed. So much of that comes from the gut. That's where your immune system is located. 70 to 80% of it, the GI tract, is where it originates. So you want to support the intestines and colon. It also helps support optimal metabolism and absorption of food. So anything we can do to support our metabolic health and how well our nutrients from our food actually absorb into our body is a great thing to do. Terrazyme is something else that can help with absorption. So this helps healthy digestion and metabolism, especially in enzyme deficient processed foods, which we have a lot of in the American diet. You can see the different enzymes down on the right here and what exactly they're breaking down. They're breaking down proteins, carbs, starches, sugars, fats, and oils. So those can actually be absorbed into the intestines, lactose. So that would be your milk sugars. Breaking down polysaccharide sugars, that's in your legumes, cruciferous vegetables, that can cause bloating and gas for a lot of people. So this helps you digest more comfortably. Breaks down certain fibers to help digest fruits and vegetables better. Sucrose and fructose, or it actually breaks down sucrose to fructose and glucose so that you actually get more energy from your food. And you see there's an anti-gluten enzyme blend. This helps break down gluten. So if you happen to be sensitive to it, or just makes you feel bloated or just heavy afterward, it helps you break that down more gently and efficiently. So your body can use, again, that energy. So we're breaking down starches and supporting conversion of food nutrients to cellular energy. A healthy production of metabolic enzymes, again, so good for your metabolism. You can support your body doing all of these things. And when your body doesn't have to work so hard to digest your food, it can do other things. That energy can be diverted to help you have more energy, to help with your metabolism, to help do other things that support your body, because you are actually helping it to digest these foods more comfortably, break them down into a more efficient way that your body can use them. Really good for any kind of food intolerances. I was gluten intolerant for 5 years. I had this with me all the time. I still carry some with me. I take it every day. It just helps me with digestive issues like bloating. If I have a heavy meal, I know I'll take extra. So it contains a tummy tamer blend of peppermint, ginger, and caraway seed along with those enzymes. And then the bone nutrient, this is a good one to consider for, it's really marketed toward women because our bone density starts to decrease as we get older, probably in our like mid 30s or so. But it's really good to consider for kids too, because it's got these levels of vitamins and minerals that are essential for developing and maintaining healthy bone mass and density. It's got 100% of the daily recommended amounts of calcium and magnesium. So it's supporting healthy bones and overall health. So it might be something to consider if you've got an athlete student, or just in different seasons, like maybe there's an injury or something, to help support that bone density and the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins like D2 and D3 to help the bones actually absorb the calcium. So it's a highest quality bone nutrients that in the bioavailable form, and the capsules are sodium lauryl sulfate free. So really great thing to consider for women, but really for anyone. It's not just for women. All right, so let's talk about oils to diffuse for our school day and different times of day as well. Lemon is energizing and cleansing. It purifies the air and surfaces. You can use it on surfaces. It also, citrus oils also help cleanse the body and aid in digestion. So this is another way to gently detox. You can drink lemon oil or your favorite citrus oil in water. It helps support healthy respiratory function. Good to keep in mind with respiratory things that might come up throughout the year. But as far as diffusing, it's really great for any citrus oils are going to promote a positive mood. So you might have a favorite citrus. They're really all very powerful cleansers because of the limonene content, help protect against environmental threats, seasonal threats, germs you might come in contact with, help support digestion. So some of this just depends on your preference. Which citrus oil is your favorite? So they're they've all got some similar components, but of course they come from the rind of different fruits. And so they have different benefits too. Grapefruit, one of its extra special benefits, it helps with blemishes. There's several oils that can do that. They can be used like a spot treatment. It helps support healthy metabolism. And grapefruit actually has been used to help a lot of people overcome sugar addiction. It's even used in some drug addiction settings, along, of course, with proper counseling and rehabilitation, but it is really helpful for metabolism. And so it helps, it's really sweet. It's just, I don't particularly love grapefruit, the fruit, but I really do love the oil, and I love to add it to a smoothie or something like that I'm drinking, like water, for metabolism. And some people just are really drawn to lime. Again, some of the same benefits. You can kind of figure out which ones are your favorite. But these are so cleansing, so good for emotional balance and well-being, so good for uplifting your mood. Citrus Bliss is a blend that I personally love so much. This has got the added benefit of vanilla absolute and tonka beans. So it's a different kind of blend there with the sweetness along with the different citruses. And this is really a great one for helping reduce stress, uplifting the mood. I use it sometimes like a perfume, or I just diffuse it a lot. I love it with On Guard, actually. So I know I'm helping to fight germs and purify the air while also uplifting the mood. So you can kind of figure out what your favorites are. Another favorite in the citrus family is Cheer. This is one that is helpful for inspiring optimism, a happy atmosphere, and also for energizing as well. So you can see some of the different oils in this one. It's a unique blend, and I know a lot of people use this as their personal fragrance, keep it with them, and wear it on them a lot. Peppermint is another great one to consider for diffusing, whether on diffuser jewelry or in your actual diffuser. It helps promote healthy respiratory function and clear breathing. So most of us kind of know about that for digestive health as well with peppermint. It repels bugs naturally, but when you are using it to diffuse or to wear on yourself, or just to keep on you to smell regularly, it does help oxygenate the brain. Marathon runners, other athletes love to use peppermint because it does help to give you that extra pep. And so I take it on long car trips. It helps when I'm kind of feeling like that mental sluggishness and I need to focus. So peppermint is one that's really good to consider for having nearby for a long school day, long work day, long car trip, all those kind of things to increase your stamina and energy, but also for athletes because it does help to increase the oxygen. And like I said, marathon runners, gymnasts will use it right before they're going to go out on the floor for stamina. So it does help support and promote that. All right, so let's talk about the school day. You might want to consider sending a roller ball or something else that might be allowed if the kid goes to school. So here's some options. Wild orange and peppermint are amazing together to help with energy and focus. The Thinker blend and Intune blend, those both already come in a roller. You could also consider aroma inhalers of oils that you find helpful. Those, they look like the old Vicks sticks used to come in an inhaler. You can buy empty ones, blank ones, make your own with your favorite scents. And it's just a cotton wick inside of it that you can refill. It lasts for months, and just something to smell. And it could be that some schools won't allow kids to wear the oils on them or to even bring the oils with them, but something like an aroma inhaler. I've even heard people doing a tiny little like Tupperware type container with a cotton ball inside it and putting a drop or two of oil on the cotton ball. So then the kid can just open up that little container and smell as needed. So that might be some ways to consider sending oils to school if roller balls are not allowed. Also, diffuser jewelry, lava beads, wood, even unfinished porcelain. There's a lot of different options out there for diffuser jewelry. There's lockets with a little cotton pad inside. So something to help with getting through the school day. There's various ways to do that. Intune is great for enhancing and sustaining a sense of focus. It does have a very strong smell. And that's really the vetiver in it that makes it so strong. It's a long lasting root-based oil, but it really supports those who have difficulty paying attention and staying on task. So it's a great study time blend. Some people will just put it on the bottom of their toe because that is a reflex point for the brain. And then you can just put socks on over the kids' feet and shoes and send them to school. And nobody has to smell it. So it is very strong. Some people absolutely love it. I don't mind the smell of it, but I get mixed reactions when I pass it around. And I know kids can tend to be especially sensitive, and maybe even if your kid likes it, the other kids in the classroom might not, or that type of thing. So you can think of creative ways like the bottom of the toe to use it. Another good option would be Thinker, because it's more of a fresh, invigorating aroma. And it also helps with performing tasks and staying on focus. Another good study time one. And so it has patchouli, which is also strong, but it's not, it's diluted more. It's not a real strong smell. I think it's a very bright and cheerful smell. I think that's the lime and the frankincense in it that I love, sandalwood. So this is a good option. It's part of our kids line, which is specially designed for children. It's diluted more for even little ones to be able to use these, and the smells tend to be a lot more pleasant. They're not as strong and potent, and so they're more likely to enjoy using them. Here is a recipe I got out of the Essential Life book called Fidget Fixer. So you might want to, throughout this, take some screenshots. I've got a lot of recipes, but I'm going to go over them really quickly just because for the sake of time. Just know that you can apply these, the roller blends that I showed you, and also this blend to the ears, forehead, back of the neck, down the spine, bottoms of the feet. Those are all great places to support the body when you're putting oils on topically. And you can kind of consider the age, size, and the need of the user to determine, would I actually want more drops of oil than this in it. These tend to be pretty conservative. Another one that's great for concentration: cedarwood, lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, vetiver. Similar to the Intune, but if you already happen to have these single oils and you would prefer just mixing them to make your own blend, those are some great options. And the Essential Life book has a lot of great recipes like this. All right, so when we're talking about eating right, the foundation, right, we want to think about things we could send with our kids to school, or maybe even their homeschool co-op, or just having on hand at home if we're homeschooling. So there's some recipes here from doTERRA's website. The fruit dip can be really helpful to get more just whole fruit into your body. Frozen yogurt bites. This is just basically the yogurt, citrus oil, orange juice, and gelatin. So you can make these up in a food processor, and these can be really helpful. Just again, just having a good healthy snack on hand. Wild orange peanut butter sandwich, another way to just help with getting some oils in and helping with some stamina, some protein, things like that. So these are just some fun recipes from the website. There's a lot more. I just pulled out a handful, and at the end, I'm going to give you an ebook that actually has even more recipes, because we just don't want to spend too much time going through how to make all these things here on Zoom. But granola bars are another easy thing, pretty quick once you have all the ingredients to mix up. And you can, of course, make these according to your own family. If there are allergies in your family, you can leave something out or substitute. If you don't have a problem with things like nuts, those can be a great source of a lot of good nutrients. And so you could add those in, that kind of thing. But adding essential oils can really help with the flavor and add some depth of flavor. And just depending on what your favorites are, I like cinnamon and tangerine personally. It's added in, but you might have different preferences. Okay, so then you get to the end of the school day. After school, you have some homework to do. So you can consider diffusing some focus blends. Peppermint and wild orange are a great start. I like to add rosemary and frankincense to that, so that those four kind of became my signature homeschool blend: peppermint, wild orange, frankincense, and rosemary. Balance is another great option. Intune, you would just carefully remove the roller ball, and you could use a dropper to get some drops of that out to diffuse. Serenity and vetiver, some people might be sensitive to vetiver, making them sleepy, but other people, it really helps them to focus. And so that it just calms all of that activity going on in the brain, which is how it helps a lot of people fall asleep as well. And so that can help when really needing to focus on homework. Same with Serenity. Some people use it for sleep. So we think, oh, it might make me tired. Most of the time, that's not the case. Some people might be really sensitive to it and find that it does make them sleepy. But most people find that those grounding oils just help calm the noise of everything else going on in the mind so that they can focus on the task at hand. So a few options there. Balance. This is my favorite go-to oil for stress and helping to just kind of ease anxious feelings. Really good for tranquility and balance. It's a lot of wood-based oils, so it's called the grounding blend. Rosemary, and among other things, it does help support healthy digestion, respiratory function. It also helps reduce nervous tension and fatigue. And there have been studies done with rosemary that show test performance enhanced by using rosemary while studying for a test, and then also using rosemary while taking the test. That the ones who did that performed better, and it does help to retain memory better. So rosemary is often known as the memory enhancing oil. So that is a great one to have on hand or to use regularly while studying or preparing for a test. And then it could go on a diffuser necklace or something like that, or a diffuser bracelet or an inhaler for test taking. Frankincense, we know it's great for cellular function. It also does help promote feelings of relaxation. It's great for the skin as well, but it's included here because again, it has that grounding effect. I actually like to take it under my tongue, and it helps me just to feel grounded and kind of at peace, and again, able to just function and get what I need to done. This blend is from a class, a material packet called Rollerball Make and Take. And I liked this one, the Homework Helper. It's got black pepper, grapefruit, lime, peppermint, and rosemary. So you put it in a roller again, apply to the base of the skull or bottoms of the feet before sitting down to do homework. It's also great for test days. So there's a combination of several oils that are great for helping with homework after school. Then for bedtime support, these are some great options for restful sleep. Cedarwood, of course, it has other benefits that are listed here too, like naturally repelling insects, but really for this purpose, promoting relaxation, it helps your body to create its own melatonin. So if you are someone who has trouble sleeping, maybe you've tried melatonin, and your body will get used to you supplementing melatonin. It'll stop eventually making its own, and you'll have to keep taking more and more. But you don't want your body to stop making its own melatonin. So maybe just take that for once in a while and try to wean off of it if that's something you've been relying on. And if you are taking that under, a prescription or a doctor's recommendation or something, you can talk to them about that. But cedarwood actually helps your body to create its own melatonin. So it promotes relaxation in a natural way, and it supports your body doing that for you. So you don't have to take an outside source of melatonin. Serenity has cedarwood in it, but it is the blend known as our calming blend. And it's really great for a sleeping environment. So diffusing it in the bedroom, you can apply it again to the wrists, the bottoms of the feet, back of the neck, forehead, keep it by the bed in case you do wake up in the night. That's a good reminder just to have it handy, because you might find that helps you fall asleep, but you might still wake up in the night. And it is a really subtle aroma, so it's great for nighttime. It lessens feelings of tension and it calms the emotions. And there is also, I should have included it on here, there's a supplement, the Serenity supplement. It has lavender oil and some other ingredients that are herbal, natural ingredients that help your body to calm down and to sleep. And so that's another great option to consider. It's got L-theanine from green tea, which is used very widely in Asia to help with stress, anxious feelings, and sleeplessness. And so the combination of those, the Serenity oil and the Serenity capsules, have helped so many people be able to get restful sleep after struggling for a long time not being able to do that. Vetiver is calming and grounding. Again, we talked about it for focus. It does have immune supporting properties, but it's really great for helping with sleep. So some people who have tried lavender, maybe they've tried some different, floral oils, some different ones that are supposed to be calming, and they're discouraged and think, none of these oils are helping me sleep. You really might just need to get vetiver by itself, because this is an amazing oil for helping a lot of people finally be able to find that sweet spot of being able to sleep. And I would say cedarwood too, because of helping with the melatonin, but vetiver is an amazing oil. It's very thick, it's very strong smelling. It's hard to get rid of the smell. Once it's on you, it lasts a couple of days. So just be careful with it. It's from a root in Haiti, actually, and it is thick, and it is really an amazing oil to see. It's not the thickest. I think myrrh is probably the thickest oil, but that's from a resin, so it's more sticky. But the vetiver is just a really neat oil that a lot of people haven't tried by itself. And it might be exactly what you need for either focus or sleep or both. So something to consider if you haven't used vetiver yet. Bergamot is a calming and soothing aroma. It people tend to think of, all the citruses are just uplifting and energizing, and they are, but they don't necessarily, it doesn't mean that they're not also calming. So bergamot especially has some properties that it's frequently used in massage because of its calming benefits. And so this might be one that you really enjoy the smell of, that you could add to like your Serenity, and it's a good calming oil as well. Lavender, of course, a lot of people know about this for all sorts of things, skin irritations, helping with tension and stress, but taken internally, lavender does reduce anxious feelings and promotes peaceful sleep. And so that's again where you can get that internally in the Serenity capsules. Roman chamomile is another good one to try. It has a calming effect on the body, similar to lavender, but it can also just help in ways that are, slightly different. And so I like to combine these. And that's the great thing about Serenity. It has these oils in it. It's got the cedar wood and lavender and chamomile. And so it's nice because you don't have to buy all of these separately. If you're looking for kind of a one-stop, going back to the Serenity, it has lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, sandalwood, and vanilla bean absolute. So that's a great place to start if you're not sure which oil would be best for you. A lot of people love to combine Serenity and Balance for their optimal anti-stress and restful sleep blend. And so I have a couple recipes here. This one has vetiver, cedarwood, patchouli, Serenity, and extra ylang ylang. Some people do find patchouli really helpful for calming their emotions and helping with sleep. Another one that a friend of mine created for her grandson that has been really popular. Oh, I thought it was the next here. That's this one is called Liquid Calm. That's what she calls it. It's got Balance, Serenity, copaiba, vetiver, and Roman chamomile. So you can see just slightly different, but this has helped her son who has some focus and attention issues, her grandson, with finally being able to focus and then also being able to sleep better at night. And then this one is Sweet Dream. So juniper berry is a different addition in this one. And so you can blend that. A lot of people like to apply juniper berry or take it and put it in a diffuser for nighttime. And just another added benefit with juniper berry that people may not realize, it can help with night terrors, and it can also help with bedwetting. So if you've got kids who have issues with nightmares and bedwetting, juniper berry over the kidneys or diffused also can be really helpful. A different option that maybe you hadn't heard of before. Okay, and then we all know with back to school, a lot of kids, a lot of us need emotional support. So let's talk about reducing stress. Some of the same oils that we use to promote sleep are used for reducing stress. Those two do go hand in hand. So a lot of the same oils here, but something slightly different that you could maybe haven't tried yet either or haven't heard about is adaptive. And so the doTERRA adaptive system is a really great answer to reducing tension and helping empower when you're having trouble adapting to difficult situations, acclimating to new surroundings. This is designed, again, the name of it being adaptive, it's helping adapt to those different stimuli, those different surroundings, difficult situations, which of course, going back to school can be all of that for kids. And so the capsules actually combine clinically studied botanicals with essential oils, and it helps manage the effects of stress and anxious feelings. And then the blend itself, the oil blend, you can either get it straight, which is great for diffusing, or the roller. This is really helpful for demanding moments in life. So you can diffuse, roll that on. It promotes feelings of calm and confidence. It's funny, a friend just texted me today and said, do you have an extra adaptive roller that I can get? Because her daughter really relies on it to help her with confidence and with calmness and with combating stress in her life as a teenager. And so it's really great to hear those kind of results. I have a neighbor friend who she uses the adaptive capsules, and it's something that has helped her adapt so much better to stressors at work. Another friend whose son has a hard time adapting to different stimuli. And he does so much better on the adaptive capsules when he's got to face different issues that are coming at him, whether it's at school or at home. And he typically has a hard time with those transitions. And this has been a game changer for them. So this is something you can get individually, any of these items, or you save $14.50 retail when you get them all three together. Okay. Another option with emotional support is the emotional aromatherapy line. This comes in single 5 milliliter oils or the roller balls in the 10 milliliters. So these were designed to help with a lot of different emotions. There's this emotion wheel that kind of helps you to know which emotions to use the different ones for. So each of these blends can be used aromatically or topically, and to help just with balancing with different changing moods. And we know that that's difficult for kids. They go through a lot, and the moods change very quickly, right? And that can happen with us as well all throughout life. So these blends, people will find their favorite. I know people who say, I cannot live without peace. I've got to have my peace all the time, or motivate is what helps get me through the day, give me that boost of energy, that type of thing. So you typically will find a favorite and know that maybe it's just for a season. I really need this one to help me get through this difficult season. So that's what the emotional aromatherapy line was designed for. And this blend from the Essential Life is the Chill Out blend. It's got cypress, frankincense, lavender, vetiver, chamomile, ylang ylang, and cedarwood. So sometimes it's just knowing the name of the blend, like Chill Out blend. Okay, yeah, that's something I could probably use. So those are great to just check out different recipes. And like I said, I'm going to give you an ebook with some recipes at the end too. Oils for exercise, and along with school, a lot of us are getting back into routines of sports and more physical activity after maybe not doing as much of that over the summer. Maybe the kids have been just as busy swimming and doing different things in the summer, but it's a different type of activity than what they'll be doing with sports or PE, that type of thing. So some good things to have on hand. Deep Blue is my absolute favorite. Soothing and cooling, really helps with aches and pains. The stick is super unique. It's actually my favorite of all of these now. Well, I do love the polyphenol complex, the pills internally, but of the oil, the rub, and the stick has become my favorite because it has the maximum over-the-counter strength plant-based menthol. So it really helps with aches and pains, muscles and joints, whether it's a simple backache, arthritis, sprains, strains, bruises. I mean, it's not greasy, and you don't have to touch it like with the rub. You have to, put it on your hand and then rub it in somewhere. With the stick, you can just pull out the stick and apply it to wherever it's needed. So I love that about the stick, and it has the added copaiba, which is helpful for inflammatory response. And we think of copaiba kind of as the CBD of essential oils because it interacts in the same parts of the brain, the CB receptors of the brain, but never with any traces of THC like CBD has, because it doesn't come from hemp or cannabis. It comes from a tree sap in Brazil. So it's not related, but it does interact on the same parts of the brain. And so it's really a great one that's added just to the stick. But the Deep Blue oil and rub are great too for those types of injuries and things. And then the Deep Blue polyphenol complex, that's polyphenols from food sources that help with inflammation in the body. When you take that internally, really great for taking internally for pain and orthopedic issues as well. Some other options, marjoram is very calming. It's in the Serenity blend, but a lot of people find this helps a lot with joint support, with aches and pains. Lemongrass is another one that's used a lot topically for a massage, that type of thing, but also for combating just tired muscles, aching muscles, that type of thing. Okay, healthy home environment is important for us too, as we're thinking about back to school. So just kind of analyze, I did a toxin-free class just a month or so ago, so I won't get into all of that. I went into the ingredients to watch out for, the things to be aware of that are lurking in your products, but just know that we have healthy alternatives that are toxin-free, from your hand wash to toothpaste, shampoo and conditioner, skincare options. Just something to consider, because there are so many toxic ingredients, and it does interfere with our hormones. It's the hormone disrupting. It interferes with mental cognition. It helps When you get those toxins out of your home, it helps your body to be able to detox so much more effectively. And we can't control, like if we're sending our kids to school or even homeschool co-ops and things, that sometimes the cleaners that they use or the air quality, but in our own homes, we want to make that a personal haven as much as possible and avoid putting those interfering ingredients, those toxic interferences on our skin, in our air, on our hair, in our scalp, where it's just so porous. And we want to make sure that we're supporting and not adding more toxins on top of. There's an owie spray recipe that I really like to use. Also, the Correctex is something I recommend having on hand. So the Correctex includes frankincense, helichrysum, tea tree, cedarwood, and lavender. It's really great for skin irritation. So it's a multi-purpose natural ointment that soothes the skin, helps it keep clean, and it provides that moisture barrier. So it's hydrating, but also it's petroleum free, which is really unique, preservative free. So it's this ointment that's gentle, non-irritating, really great for sensitive skin. So those things, of course, are going to come up. We're going to need to support our kids and even ourselves with these kind of healthy options when we're facing, boo-boos, cuts, scrapes, owies, whatever it might be. Also, what we clean with at home is important to think about. So some cleaning options and just other options to have on hand too. This is a great first aid oil as well, actually. So it's renowned for cleansing and rejuvenating. It's good for the immune system, helps protect against environmental and seasonal threats. So tea tree oil is a great staple oil. Purify helps with unpleasant odors. So maybe shoes after, kids have been doing sports, or their gym bag or something like that. I actually use it in my laundry. Really good for environmental threats as well. On Guard, of course, is amazing for the immune system and protects against environmental threats. But we do have the laundry detergent, the household cleaner. I love that. The On Guard itself, you can clean with on your surfaces, add it to your spray, multi-purpose spray cleaner, or just use the On Guard cleaner concentrate. So great ways to, again, help support our immune systems and combat germs, and also just get toxins out of our homes. Cinnamon is in the On Guard blend. It's really good for metabolism and circulation, but it's also one of the strongest known things that you can use to fight different things that can attack your immune system. I'm trying to be compliant and it's hard for me to find the right words, but basically in a petri dish, which our bodies are not petri dishes, but the analogy still helps. There's no known virus that has been able to live in a petri dish when cinnamon bark has been added to it. Cinnamon bark oil is super powerful. So just something to keep in mind for your immune system as well. So other immune support things, we have the beadlets, the On Guard Plus soft gels. Those have some of the most powerful, just super powerhouse oils for your immune system. Oregano, lemon, tea tree, or melaleuca. We have the On Guard sanitizing mist to send. I send it with backpacks or things like that if kids are going to camp or to school. So thinking about how we can go into back to school season and support immune systems is really important. So oregano is one that you may not use often, but you'll definitely want to have it on hand for immune system. It's great for digestion too, but it's really powerful in its antioxidants. And so this one is just one that's good to have on hand. Just kind of trust us on that when it comes to some yucky sickness and germs or bad digestive issues. Or even getting a wart off the skin. Oregano can burn a wart off. Ask your wellness advocate for help with that, so you don't, hurt yourself using it. It's a real hot oil, but it's powerful and definitely worth having on hand. You might have different seasonal issues. Some people I know have that more in the spring, but some do have it in the fall. So lemon, lavender, peppermint are great for helping with seasonal issues. Tri-Ease has those 3 oils in it. You can take those soft gels internally. Breathe, frankincense, good for sinus swelling. Breathe drops to take like a cough drop. Digestin is great for breaking up mucus. So here are some of those options. Tri-Ease, really helpful for protecting against those seasonal threats, and it's very cleansing. Breathe comes in some various options. There's a stick, there's the drops, the oil. And it also helps with sleeping, as a lot of people, if they're mouth breathers or they just maybe tend to snore or they just don't breathe as well at night, this helps support clear breathing. So it can really help with better sleep as well. We keep those drops on hand because living in the South, you never know what time of year different pollens and things are going to irritate. And of course, going into winter, it's good to have those on hand. So for healthy sinuses and airways, you can put Breathe in your diffuser on your chest, on the feet, even put a drop in the shower. The steam will help that vapor to get into your lungs. Digescen is another great one for breaking up mucus. A lot of people think of it only for digestion, but it really is good on the sinuses, on the chest. Frankincense is amazing. Peppermint, spearmint, eucalyptus, wintergreen, any of those diffused. Of course, Breathe has a lot of those. And past tense on the sides of the neck is really great for head tension, but also great for clear airways. And for throat support, these are great to have on hand. Your On Guard drops, your Breathe drops. On Guard or lemon oil on a teaspoon of honey is really great for the throat as well. You can also gargle with On Guard. So just some good things to have for throat support. Here is a gargle recipe, just 1 drop of On Guard, drop of clove, a drop of lemon, a drop of frankincense, mix in 2 ounces of water and gargle. So whatever you have on hand, maybe you don't have clove separately. On Guard has clove in it. So you could just skip that if you don't have that separate. Whatever of these oils you have, try that for you wake up with a scratchy throat or anything like that, been exposed to someone with throat issues. For digestive support, this is something also you might not need it all the time. Maybe you don't have regular digestive issues, but when, a stomach bug is going around, you're going to be really thankful to have some digestive support things on hand, especially Digescen. So whether it's the oil, the roller, the tabs, or the soft gels, look into which are options that you need for sure. At least have that oil on hand for rubbing on topically, taking internally anytime upset stomachs come around. Peppermint is great for digestive issues as well. It does come in the beadlets. And we have these soft gels, but they're out of stock right now, sadly. So they should be back in, I think, in a few weeks. But they encapsulate peppermint oil in an enteric coated soft gel. So that's really good for digestive relief to the lower intestines. So how we talked about probiotics need to get to the lower intestines, peppermint to the lower intestines can be really helpful for digestive health and different issues that you might face digestively. Ginger, people think of this a lot for nausea and like for car sickness. It's great for that, but it's also helpful for reducing bloating, gas, indigestion. It's in the Digescen blend. Motion sickness blend, peppermint and ginger is great together, or you can add Digescen with those and have that on hand if a child or someone that tends to get motion sickness and you're going to be going on a trip or there's a field trip or they have to go on the bus or something like that. This could be really helpful to have on hand. I know it was a lifesaver for a friend of mine whose daughter could hardly ride across town without throwing up. She just had extreme motion sickness, and ginger was a game changer for them. Ear discomfort is something else that comes up periodically. We will apply basil, tea tree, and lavender kind of all around the ears. You don't want to put oils down into the ear canal, but you can put oils all around and on the mastoid bone behind the ear and then rub it into those lymph nodes as well very regularly. So these are all good options for ear discomfort. Basil acts as a cooling agent and it really helps with the discomfort that can come with earaches. It also helps promote mental alertness and lessens anxious feelings. So, and just keep it in mind, we use it a lot for ear discomfort, but also for things like bee stings, different things that need that cooling and just that kind of analgesic effect on the skin. Past tense, I use that a lot for head tension, but a lot of people love it for just other types of stressful feelings. It used to be packaged in a roll-on. It's not anymore, so that's wrong. I forgot to change that. It's in the 15 milliliter now, but you can make your own roller out of that if it's something that you rely on a lot. Helichrysum, I put this in my owie spray. It's really good for helping blood actually coagulate. So if you have a wound that's bleeding, helichrysum is great for that. Juniper berry, I mentioned that for bad dreams. It's also good for healthy kidney and urinary tract, like I said, bedwetting. And it's a natural skin toner and detoxifier as well, has a grounding, calming effect. So it was in one of those sleep blends, but that's just a unique one I like for people to know about. So lastly, kind of as you're looking at using the oils, there is this rollerball kind of guide, quick dilution guide. Some people really struggle with that. So there are these percentages, but Kind of just good to know 1 teaspoon is about 5 milliliters, 2 teaspoons is about 10 milliliters. So it can be helpful when you're looking at the milliliters to know whatever concentration you choose to use, depending on, again, the age of your child, the sensitivity of their skin. It's good to do a little patch test with any new oils before using. You can always start with the minimum and add more if you feel like it's necessary. So start with just a little bit. If it's not helping as much as you would like, or you don't think it's a strong enough ratio, you can always increase that essential oil in there. So that's just kind of a quick guide. We also have the touch rollers and the kids line. So those are ones that already come in rollers, already diluted, really good for sensitive skin. And doTERRA just has created kind of that balance that's needed between some of our most popular oils, putting them in a base of fractionated coconut oil, good for children or adults with this touch line. And then we also have the kids kit, which I thought was on a separate slide, but I'm not sure if I went past it too fast or if I skipped that slide, but there is a kids line that has the rollers, and I should just add it to this slide. I have it like right here somewhere. Oh, I can't quite reach it easily, but the kids line has oils like, instead of Digestin, you could use Tamer, and it's a much more pleasant smell. It's not as potent. The kids like it better typically, especially younger kids, because it has spearmint, but it's still very, very effective for digestive issues. Just a more pleasant smell and more diluted. And so there's oils that kind of correspond to all of these in the kids line for different issues. Like I said, the Thinker blend is part of that. There's Calmer and Rescue. And so there's ones for immune system boosting and things like that that are more diluted for younger kids. And they're fun and colorful, and the kids just love to have them. I have a couple of them, like here's Tamer and Thinker. And so these were really fun when they came out. Kids just felt empowered, like, oh, these are my oils. These are oils meant specifically for me. And it just really empowered them to be able to use oils competently. All right, so teacher gifts is one more thing you might want to consider. So maybe a diffuser for the classroom, some oils that are supportive for helping with focus or calm in the classroom. Of course, any of the things we've already talked about could be great teacher gifts, but a lot of people do gift cards or, things that might have toxic ingredients in them, whether it's, candles or air fresheners or something. So consider maybe doing something like this if you're looking at a teacher gift for around Christmas time or end of the year. Teachers absolutely love to get oils, and many classrooms will allow teachers to use a diffuser, certainly much better for them than the plugins or air fresheners or other, toxic ingredients that might be in things that they're using to freshen the air. And so that could be a great option for a teacher gift. So just for those who may not be aware, so it is already after the 15th, so some of these have expired, but we have Harvest Spice for a limited time. It is such a great oil. It has amazing fall time oils. So this is what I diffuse throughout the fall. I love this. I love Holiday Joy, but Harvest Spice is out while supplies last. We don't have Holiday Joy and some of the other holiday ones until November. It just helps to invite the aromas of fall into your home. So that's available while supplies last. And Helichrysum is actually 10% off this month. So again, that's good for distressed and aging skin, achy muscles. It's naturally cleansing. It's the one I mentioned can help blood actually coagulate if you've got a cut or a wound, and it really helps with bone support too. So with injuries and things like that, I always include it in my Owie spray. And then there is the option right now for new members to get a free membership. You can customize your own kit. And we have the After Sun Restorative Body Spray available while supplies last, only one per account. It's a new product. And we have a bunch of new products coming next month. So you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be a really exciting month. It's our convention month in September. So these are our August specials, but convention is coming. There's a lot of fun, exciting stuff coming with doTERRA. So pay attention to that. And I hope you all have just a wonderful start to your school year. Some of you have already started. There were a couple of ebooks that I thought would be really helpful. And of course, I just didn't have time and space to include all of the great recipes and things like that. So you can text my number 865-272-2572. Just text the word school. If you're not saved in my contacts, don't be offended or alarmed when you get a text back that says Hi First Name because I don't have your name plugged in. It's a special app that I use for my business texts, and it comes all to my same phone, my actual phone. It's not going to someone else. No one else sees them. But if you're plugged into my contacts, it will actually fill in your first name there. So if you get a text back that says hi first name, just know that I haven't added you to my contacts yet, and I'll need to do that in order for your first name to populate in future texts. But if you just text me the word school, you're actually going to get the links for two separate ebooks that have back to school tips, recipes, more information about those kids line oils that I forgot apparently to include here, and just some great tips for having a successful school year and how essential oils can help you out with that. All right, so I'm going to exit the PowerPoint here and the screen sharing so I can see who's on live here and do some giveaways. Yay.